Take 298. anything on their heart. 120. Page 120, y'all. I need to carry it. I heard
I Start us off this morning. Song testimony.
I'd like to say, I love the Lord this morning, thank Him for His mercy, His grace, watch over and keep us safe. He's a great God this morning.
Oh, yes.
Praise Him for it. Love Him.
Amen.
Well, I'll just stand here and say that I love the Lord this morning and sing this for the community. I'm grateful for Him protecting us and, you know, He's just so gracious to us and merciful. You know, He's protected us from this virus and every day, you know, He keeps us from harm and, you know, protects Brother Kyle out on the road. You know, I worry about him a lot being out there and what he has to, you know, just be out there, you know, around other people. We're not, I don't think, as subjected to as many people as he is, everybody. And, you know, I'm just thankful to him that he's protected us thus far. Just pray that he continue to protect us all. And I know he will.
Amen.
And I'm just grateful this morning for everything that he is to us this morning and to me, that he lives in me, and I'm grateful for that. And I love him, and I love all of y'all.
Amen.
And just, let's pray for, you know, Miss Ann, you know, it just broke my heart to know that, you know, she's in the hospital and, you know, at her age, you know, it just, I know she's had a good life, but still, it's tear breaking, heartbreaking, you know, but she's special,
Yeah.
you know, and I mean, everybody's special here, okay? You know, I just pray for her, and I pray for all of you, and I love y'all.
Yeah.
That's my sister.
Majesty, but all
the opportunity I had to be here this morning, to be able to be here, be with my friends, my brothers and sisters this morning. How blessed I am to be here, to be able to be with you. And I pray soon that everything will get back to normal, where we can have our normal peace. Oh, everybody be, I mean, they spearing people, they troublesome times of year, you know. That song was on my heart this morning, and still troublesome times here. Everyone ever had it, you look at it. But, I'm thankful that we have got a great God that's in control of all of it, and He can handle it. There's nothing too big for Him, and He will take care of His faithful few. He will take care of His faithful few this morning. I'm thankful to be serving that God this morning. Thankful to have all my brothers and sisters that's here this morning, to be here with us, just see you smiling faces. I just love to see you smiling faces. I tell you, no matter. And when things get back, I'll be glad to see you. I told my Sunday school this morning, I'll be glad when things get back to normal. When I get home from Sunday to Sunday, that ain't enough for me.
Yeah.
I'll get hungry. I've got a big appetite for the Lord this morning. I'll be glad that when everything gets back to normal. I wasted a tub of water Wednesday night. Took a shower, took a bath, took me a bath, and wasted that water. I'm out here in my soul. I said, my goodness, I just wasted a tub of water. but I was looking forward to maybe 2 or 3 or 4, maybe be out here and we can have a good time in the Lord.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, y'all. To come together and worship the Lord, praise the Lord, and He's deserving every bit of it.
Amen.
And He'll richly repay you for it. Every word you can utter for Him, or every arm you can lift for Him, He'll richly repay you for what little effort you put forth to worship Him. He loves to be worshipped. My God loves to be worshipped. I do worship Him. I do praise Him this morning for all He does for me. And y'all can make up for that little Steve, y'all have gotten, I'm not particularly smile. That's what I love more than anything. I love the Lord this morning more than anything.
Amen. Anybody else?
I'll soon say I love the Lord today. I just don't want to sit back on Him and, because He is so great and He is so worthy of our praise. I just want to thank Him for everything that He has done for me, the answered and the unanswered prayers. I just want to stand for Him and just say I love Him.
Amen. Anybody else?
Right now, I'm gonna say I love the Lord and thank Him for what He's done for me. And this week I've been studying about when there was the building of the temple of God's holy place, and all it took to build that. And God laid the specifications out there for them of how to build these things. And when I was studying it out, I was looking at how much a cubit was, and how much, these different measurements were. And I had a piece of paper and was writing down the measurements, just to see in, my perspective, how long, it would have took them, how big the boards were, how long the curtains were, and, how much what it took to build, all of these things for these people to go in here and worship, and when God laid it out for them, they didn't question it, they didn't take their time, they went in there and they got it done because they knew that they needed a place for the Spirit to dwell. They knew that the Spirit was going to dwell there, so they hurried. They went in there and they got it done. They didn't take their time. They didn't piddle around. They went in there and got it done. And they done exactly what the Lord told them to do. And I thought about the church in this day and time, and how much we take our time in things, and we want to say, well, I'll take my time in doing these things for the Lord, and we need to hurry. We ain't got much time left, and they didn't know. They didn't think about that back then. They just thought, I got to get this done for the Lord. Right. How many of us are willing to sacrifice our time because we don't have much time left? Yeah, and time is not ours to control. The Lord, our time is in the Lord's hands, and He's telling us. How many of us are ignoring what God is telling us to do because we think we have enough time to get it done, and we don't. And I thought the other day, I was sitting in the bed and I was just praying, and I know that it was the Lord giving me these things to say to pray, because sometimes I get so stuck, you know, it gets stuck between my mind and my heart, you know, my heart feels these things, and my mind, you know, it won't come out of my mouth. And, you know, I thought, so many people care about me. My family cares about me. My friends care about me. But nobody will care about me like Jesus does.
Amen.
And, you know, there's so many things. Everything in this world will come to pass, but my life will go on. It don't matter how much time I think of my life I've got left. My life will go on when I die, whether it's in hell or whether it's in heaven. And I'm thankful that, you know, when my time is up, that I'll go to heaven to be with Jesus. And I want to do everything I can and not hesitate to do it like those people, you know, when they went in there to build that. We need to build God's kingdom and stop waiting around and being lazy. And the time to do it is now. And I want to cherish every time that I have with the Lord and the building of His kingdom, because I am a child of God, and that's what He sent me on this earth to do, is to shine my light for Him and to go out into the world and be a light unto other people. And to build His kingdom. And I am a part of His kingdom. And I love the Lord today. And I'm thankful for Him showing me things and setting me straight, because I want to be somebody that is able to be transformed into a child of God. And not, you know, not want to say, I don't want you to make me into who you want me to be. I want to be who God wants me to be. And I don't want to be conformed to the world. And I love the Lord today, and I'm thankful for what He does for me.
And I understand and say, I love the Lord. I said,
That's
you
my
know,
sister Laura.
I said, I always say things backwards, I guess, most of the time, but I'm like Bethany, you know, well, she can sing, I can't sing. I can't do a whole lot of things. But I said, one thing I can do, I do have a mouth. And yes, and I do tell people about God every chance I get. And I try to make a point to tell anybody, wherever I'm at, have a blessed day, have a blessed night, whatever. But then her talking about building that, I've got to tell this story, because this is just how God works. Like Charlie Mays from Tracy, I cut his hair for years, him and his son both, but it's got nothing to do with it. He was there getting his hair cut just a couple of weeks ago, and I know I mentioned to him because somebody told me, you know, like, even in the fall, you can plant certain vegetables, like cabbage and certain things you can grow. So I mentioned to Charlie I'd like to have them. I said, oh, you know, them wooden things are nothing, you know, whatever, they'll be up like this, a square thing. He said, well, yeah, I know what you're talking about. And I said, yeah, I said, that'd be nice. Didn't ask him to build one, had no idea, didn't, I mean, you know. So, I don't know, 3 or 4 days later, he calls me. He said, Brenda, I'm building or whatever he called it. And I said, oh, no, Charlie, I didn't mean for you to build that. That's not what I meant. Because I'm thinking, you know, how much all this is going to cost? You know, all that number, all this land. Well, okay, so he, no, I'm working on it. So then he called me, well, middle week this week, and he said, well, I've almost got it finished. He said, I'll be there with it Saturday. He said, I'll call you and let you know what time. So anyway, he called and he said he'd be there at 12 o'clock yesterday. Well, sure enough, here they come, tractor, the whole 9 yards. Had to unload these. I never seen anything like it. I mean, they're huge. What do you call them? Beams, big beams, I mean. Stacked too high, I guess you'd say. He even brought whatever you put down, the black stuff underneath it. He brought the dirt to put in there, like the soil for me to plant my plants in. And you know when I asked him what I owed him, you know what he said? No, I don't want to die. No. I said, Charlie, you can't do that. He said, yes, I can. He said, I'm doing this from my heart. And I said, Charlie, thank you. I said, you see, that's God, and that's how good God is to all of us. So that's, I guess my point is, I guess we need to try to be better to other people every chance we get.
Yes.
If we can help along the way. Because some way God's going to repay us. It may not be money-wise or whatever, but God is always going to give back.
Right.
More than what we expect, that's for sure. What we deserve, I should say. But I just had to tell that. And I just love it with all my heart, and I love y'all.
Amen. Anybody else? All hearts are clear. Okay.
You love the Lord.
Amen.
Amen.
He loves you.
Yes, he does.
Man.
Thank you,
Thankful for
Jesus.
that. Thankful that he loves me. Cares for me. Let's see here. Let me find my notes here. Give me just a second. Forgot to mark it. 2 Samuel chapter number 9. 2 Samuel chapter number 9. Chapter, starting verse number 1. Bible there says, and David said, is there yet any that is left of the house of Saul, that I may show him kindness for Jonathan's sake? There was in the house of Saul a servant whose name was Ziba. When they had called him unto David, the king said unto him, art thou Ziba? He said, thy servant is he. The king said, is there not yet any of the house of Saul, that I may show the kindness of God unto him? And Ziba said unto the king, Jonathan hath yet a son, which is lame on his feet. And the king said unto him, where is he? Ziba said unto the king, behold, he is in the house of Machir, the son of Amiel in Lodebar. Then King David sent and fetched him out of the house of Machir, the son of Amiel from Lodebar. Now when Mephibosheth was the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, was coming to David, fell on his face, and did reverence. And David said, Mephibosheth, and he answered, behold thy servant. David said unto him, fear not, for I will surely show thee kindness for Jonathan thy father's sake, and will restore thee all the land of Saul thy father, and thou shalt eat bread at my table continually. You may be seated this morning. I want to stand here this morning. I want to preach probably on a touchy subject. I want to stand this morning and say, all lives matter.
Amen.
I want to tell you this morning, Jesus settled the conflict many, many years ago on the cross when he stretched forth his hands and said, I'm dying for the world. The Bible says in John 3:16 that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. It didn't say that God loved the white people. It didn't say that God only loved the black people. It didn't say he only loved the Latino people. He said that he loved the world.
Amen.
Therefore, he sent his only begotten son to die for every race, every sex, every religion, every region, every nation, every tribe, every tongue. Jesus died for us all.
Amen.
And I want to tell you this morning, this scripture's been on my heart for a little while, and but I want you to picture in your mind today of a nation, of somebody that is in turmoil, somebody that is our nation today is in so much turmoil. You turn on the TV and you see this going on over here. We're having people right now, and somebody may get a hold of this and get all upset, and they may be up here tomorrow. I don't know, but they've gotten a hold of some things, and they have put graffiti all over our veterans markers. They have went into graveyards and they have destroyed tombstones. They have went into historical towns and tore down monuments, broken out windows of major shopping malls and retail stores. They have had riots through the streets of major cities across America. We have even seen we've seen videos of them even busting into a Target, taking hammers, wrenches, whatever the case may be, and beating the self-checkout counters to try to even just get the money out of them, carrying out big screen TVs and radios and everything else, all in the name of one George Floyd.
Amen.
Now I want to tell you this morning, I'm not trying to cause any controversy. I'm not trying to cause a stink in Swanee. I'm going to say this. I agree that there should never be any any kind of police brutality against anybody, no matter what color their skin is or nationality or nothing like that. But I'm going to tell you this morning, and I'm getting to the point, you just hold on, and I'll get there. But every one of us, the Bible says, is all created equal. Or our founding fathers had wrote down that we've all been created equal. And we've all been given such inalienable rights by our Creator. It wasn't the government that gave us that. It was our Creator. It was our God that we serve today. He gave us inalienable rights. He gave us rights that the government cannot take away from us. Amen. But I will tell you this today. I'm going to stand here today. There's a song that we've heard and we've listened to, and it says, "We all bleed the same."
Amen.
If I was to go cut a black man, he would bleed red just like I would.
Amen.
If I was to cut a Latino guy, he would bleed red just like I would.
Amen.
We're everyone the same, from the top of our head to the sole of our feet. We've got the same. Innards. We've got the same nervous system. We've got the same makeup. No matter where we're at, it's the same. The only thing difference is our skin color. And I will tell you right now that our God don't look at that.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
It's time for us to stop looking at it.
Amen.
We've had great men. I believe great men to walk through this nation. Stand up for rights. We've had Martin Luther King Jr. that stood up against civil rights, for civil rights, and he had speeches and all these things, and people would rally around him and all this. Listen, he started a movement without violence.
Amen.
You did.
So where are you getting at? I'll show you where I'm getting at.
Amen. Bless him.
The Bible says that David was looking for somebody out of Jonathan's house to show mercy upon them. The Bible said he inquired, he asked if there was anybody of that family still left. Is there anybody that I can show mercy to? Is there anybody that I can show grace to? Is there anybody that I can honor the promise with that I made with that family? That I'm going to honor them and I'm going to keep them. And the word came and said there was one, and his name is Mephibosheth, and he is laying upon his feet. In other words, this boy, he could not move on his own. He could not walk down the hallway. He couldn't walk up the steps. He couldn't walk to that table. He couldn't get around these people. But I'm going to tell you, the Bible said David told him, when Mephibosheth came in, the Bible said that Mephibosheth lay before him and said, and declared unto him that he was going to be his servant. But David picked himself up and he said, from here on, you're going to eat bread at my table. You're not going to be a servant. You say, preacher, what are you getting at? I'm getting at there's a God in heaven right now that looks upon every one of us. And God in heaven does not look on me and he doesn't look on you like I look on you.
Amen.
And like how you look on me.
Amen.
My God knows my faults and my failures, but my God don't point them out at me all the time. Like us humans do. My God looks at me and he tries to help me, he tries to correct me and lead me down the right way, but I'm going to tell you it's very easy. We see it going on right now. It's very easy for people to demand respect and demand equal rights and demand their freedom of speech and all that, but all the while they want to abuse even the God-given rights that they have been given.
Amen.
Huh? We spoke this morning, Brother Jerry read it, said if it be possible, then you live peacefully with all men. If it's not possible for you to live peaceful with somebody, stay away from them.
Amen.
Amen.
Just flat out be honest with you. If you can't be peaceful with them, stay away from them. Don't get in their business. Don't try to keep on poking and prodding and all that. Just leave them alone for a while. If it's possible for you to live peaceful, hey, go ahead. But I'm going to tell you this, I've told people this, and I've voiced my opinion several times to different people, every color of man I've talked to. I said, look, I'm all for somebody standing up and proclaiming what they believe in, standing up and saying what is true and what is right in the eyes of the Lord. I'm all up for somebody. Somebody ought to stand up with a backbone every now and then and say, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, and this is what is right. You're not going to be popular. You're going to be talking about and run down everything else. But I'm going to tell you, we've got to stand up for what's right and stand up against for what's wrong. If we don't, the reason why the things are going on even today is because of the church, because the God-fearing people have shut their voice and they've lost their spine. They've lost their backbone. They're too scared to stand up and tell the truth anymore. But we need to stand up and say that there is a cause. David even said, is there not a cause? Goliath was running his mouth and wanting to kill everybody he's seen. But David said, is there not a cause? He said, I serve an almighty God, and I know who can bring peace.
Amen.
People don't, I believe today, I really believe this morning, church. I believe a lot of people don't want peace anymore.
Amen.
I believe a lot of people are satisfied with turmoil.
Yeah.
I believe a lot of people are satisfied with division. I believe that. I believe a lot of people are so engulfed with their own personal rage and things of that nature that they want the division to always be there. I look at this scripture and I see a king, and I see this boy named Mephibosheth. And as we read, the Bible said that he was lame upon his feet. But David said, I'm going to have you sit at my table. Now when Mephibosheth was sitting around that table, and there's a preacher one time preached for me. He preached on this subject. What he did, Brother Bradley, he brought we set up a table out of fellowship hall and got a tablecloth. Pulled the tablecloth down, you know, we can't sit under the table. And he had people sitting around the table. And as we was all sitting there, you didn't see nothing of us but our waist up. We all looked the same. As this crippled boy was sitting at the table, as he sat in the chair beside the king and beside the officers and whoever else was sitting at that table, Sister Jackie, he looked the same as everybody else. The attention got took off of his lame legs, and his attention, all the attention was just as him sitting at the king's table. Today we let our attention get took to other things where it should not be.
Amen.
We turn our attention to skin color, to nationality, where it should not be.
Amen.
Because the Bible says one of these days, when the Lord gathers his children, the Bible says that they're going to be from every tribe, every nation, every kindred, every tongue. That means all over the world.
Amen.
That means if you, and I'm going to say this because every one of us in here is white, and it's not that we're saying white's only here. Everybody's welcome.
Amen.
But I'm going to tell you, if we can't get along with a different color down here, if we can't fellowship with them, listen, I preached that. I sung at black churches. I preached at black churches. And I'm going to tell you something right now, and I'll be honest with you, if you've ever been to one, they have better church services than we do.
Amen.
They do.
You know why? Because when they come to the house of the Lord, they come in there to worship. They don't care what's going on outside. They don't care what this and over here is wearing. They don't care what this and over here is driving. They come in here and they worship the Lord. They get up. The church service started at 10 o'clock in the morning. I went to the service one time. Sunday school started at 9:45. It was a little after 2 when we left there.
Amen.
Me and Troy Strummins went to some to sing. Singing start at 4 o'clock in the evening. We left at 10 o'clock at night.
Yep.
You know why? Because they get in there and they didn't care one bit to jump up and shout. They didn't care one bit to jump up and run. They didn't care to testify and preach for a little while. They wanted to have church. They wanted to come to the house of the Lord and know that they wanted everybody to know that they loved the Lord. Amen. Listen, when we go outside this church, we ought to let everybody know that we love the Lord and we don't look at them differently because of their skin color, and they shouldn't look at us differently because of our skin color. We don't need to hold one accountable, or we don't need to be judgmental to one because of how somebody else has acted or how somebody else has lived. Because Brother Brandon, I was going to the same hell as they were, or as they, or maybe some of them were still going there. I was still going to the same hell. Amen. If I mess up today and I sin and I go away from God and I don't live for God and I do what I want to do and I try to fit in with the world, guess what? I'll die lost and I'll go to a devil's hell. Just because I'm white don't make no difference. If I was black, brown, yellow, red, if I lived wrong, if I died wrong, and I met God with sin in my life, I would die lost and go to a devil's hell.
Amen, brother.
No matter where I'm at, no matter how, don't matter what my name is, if I'm not able to pull up to that king's table and eat around a lot of him and a lot of his people, and look upon everybody as the same. Amen. Now listen, I'm going to tell you, the Bible says that He created man and woman, and He created them in the image of Him, and if we're in the image of God, then we need to be living in that image.
Amen.
Yes. Amen.
The Bible told me, God told me when He called me to preach the truth. Preach it right down the middle. Huh? Preach it straight. He said, if you step on people's toes, you're going to step on people's toes. If you make one squeal, then that's the one that needs to be at the altar praying. If you upset them, that's the one that needs to be at the altar praying. If they look at the word and they can't take the word as true word and they can't swallow it right, then they need to be at the altar praying, because there's something there that's hindering that word to get in where it needs to be. I want to tell you something today. The Bible looks upon us, or God looks upon us as children. He looks upon us as His sons and daughters. He looks upon us as one family. He don't look at me as being white. He don't look at somebody for being black. He looks at us for being a family, and we need to act like family.
Amen, brother.
Yes. Amen.
We need to live like He wants us to live. The Bible said when David inquired on this, it's not going to be long. I'm just obeying the Lord this morning.
Amen.
The Bible says this, that when he looked upon Mephibosheth, he saw his disabilities. It would have been hard not to, right? It would have been hard not to see his disability. But he chose to look beyond that. Chose to look beyond that. When I was in school, there was people, Brother Jerry, and they're still this way. But when I was in school, there was people that had it a little bit worse than I did. They didn't have the things I did. They might have been a child that wore the same clothes 2 or 3 times a week. Might have worn the same shirt 2 or 3 times in a row. Might have stunk. Their hair might have been matted or greasy or something that didn't look like we did. They didn't have the running water like I did, or they didn't have the nice clothes like I did, or whatever the case may be. But listen, there was people that would look at them, laugh at them, and scorn them and put them to shame and think that because they would do that, it made them bigger, but God does not see us that way.
Amen.
Praise God.
I've always known this. You're not the top dog. No matter how big you may think you are. You're not the top dog. You're not the strongest in the room. Somebody will always be stronger than you somewhere along the line.
Amen.
You're not the richest in the room. There's always going to be somebody that has more money than you.
Amen.
But you should be the most humble.
All right.
Did you get that?
Right.
I'm not the strongest. I'm not the richest.
but I should be the most humble.
Amen.
When I see somebody in need, I should be able to help them. I ought to be that person that will give the shirt off of his own back to cover somebody else because they might not have it.
Amen.
We ought to be a church. And I believe we do a good job at this. We ought to be a church to help people when they need help.
Amen.
To clothe them if they need clothes. To feed them if they need food. To help pay a light bill, help pay a water bill. Whatever the case may be.
Amen.
But not do it and say, hey, look what we did.
That's right.
Huh?
Right, brother. Come on.
I shouldn't say, yeah, I feel pretty good about myself with, paid Bradley's light bill this week. I want all of you to know that. I paid his light bill this week. Huh? I want everybody to know I took Aaron and Beth, and I took them a big load of groceries. Boy, it's so big, I didn't even know if I was going to be able to close the van. It took them so much food. I just want y'all to know that. The Bible says those that do things in secret, God will reward you openly.
Amen.
I may give somebody $100. That don't mean God's going to give me $100 back.
Amen.
But He may bless me.
Amen.
He may just have somebody come up and say, hey, I just want to tell you, I've been watching you over your life. I want to tell you I'm proud of who you've become, for what you've been doing. I listen to people will say things about the church, and they'll let us know. They'll say something to me that I appreciate what you're doing down there. I appreciate the church. I appreciate that you're not scared to preach. I appreciate you're not scared to put things on Facebook and so people can enjoy them. It's not about me. I said this morning on the radio. I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for the fame. But I am in it to help somebody.
Amen.
I know I'm not perfect. But I want to keep people out of hell.
Amen.
The best way I know how.
Yep.
From my family to yours. If that means, Brother Aaron, Brother Brad, if we just got it, when we're preaching, we got to preach it straight. I mean, there might be things that you preach on that hit me right between the eyes.
Yeah.
I can choose one or two things. Get mad at you, or get right with the Lord.
That's right.
Amen.
Amen.
I'm going to tell you this morning, listen. All lives matter.
Amen.
All lives matter.
Amen.
I don't care what color the skin is.
Right.
I agree what happened was bad. But this is worse.
Yeah. Amen.
What's going on right now is worse.
Amen. Yes, it is.
I believe.
Amen.
There's been people killed. There's been people beat because of what's happened.
Yep.
But all that will not compare if they die lost
That's right.
or if we die lost.
Amen.
Nothing that we ever go through down here is ever worse than the devil's hell.
That's right.
Bethany said we need to wake up. We need to wake up. We need to get busy. If you've ever declared to be a Christian, you need to be a Christian now.
Amen.
If you've ever declared to be a God-fearing man or woman, you need to be that now.
Amen.
If there's sin in your life, you better get it out now.
Amen.
Amen.
This Bible is fulfilling right in front of our eyes. Our kids may not have tomorrow. I've said this for years. I may never see my children get saved. Or get married. I may never see my children ever have a family of their own. I may never see all of that because of how the world is getting right now. Jesus Christ could step out on the cloud and the trumpet sound and God call his children home before any of that ever gets to take place. But we walk around like we've got all the time in the world.
Amen.
We could die in the very next minute. I love everybody. I don't agree with everybody,
Right.
but I love everybody.
Amen.
I don't want anybody to die lost and go to hell. I don't care who it is. Bible's the Bible, the truth, the truth.
Right.
I failed it. I went against it. This is the only thing that's going to help me make it home.
Amen.
Not my wife, not my kids, not my family, these.
Right.
I got to stay in this. And I'm going to tell you, I've been in it more the last few weeks than I've been in it a long time. Right now, I can't wait. When I'm working, I can't wait to stop that truck. To get back there and get on my little desk and start to read. I can't wait to do it. There's times I get so anxious about it, Brother Aaron. I'll jump on my phone real quick and pull up the Bible app that I've got. I've got my phone connected to my radio in the truck, and I'll go to where I've been reading, and I'll just hit play and have that computerized voice read it to me. I don't care what kind of voice it is. It's still the Word of God.
Right.
And if we listen to it, brother, I believe he'll bring his own voice out. I believe that old computerized voice will turn into the voice of the Lord.
Right.
And the Lord will begin to read that Word of God to me. And I'll see what he wants me to see. And I'll hear what he wants me to hear. We need to live for him. We need to get serious.
Amen.
We need to get serious. Stand for what's right. Never bow to what's wrong. Never bow to what's wrong. Never bow to what's wrong. That's all stand. Just with me if you feel like playing. Sing. If you're here this morning and you want to pray, younger or old, I plead with you, come to this altar. I ask of you this morning to come to this altar and pray. I want to see what God can really do in this church.
Amen.
I want to see what God can really do in your life and in my life. I want to see what God can really do in these kids that we've got here. Listen, I know they're anointed. You know they are.
Amen.
When they sing, the Lord moves. Just imagine if they themselves really gets a hold of God. Mean business with him. If you want to pray, I want you to come. Come pray this morning. Young or old, no matter where you're at, no matter what's going on in your life, come to this altar this morning. God, that you would place your hand upon their life. God, that they would see
God, to the truth. Let their eyes be opened unto you today, God. Let them realize, God, that you didn't die on that cross for us to hate one another. God, you died on the cross, Lord, for us to lift up the banner of love. God, Lord, and love one another, God. Lord, I pray, God, that we would pray for one another. God, that we would do the right things, Lord. God, when you look at me, Lord, you look at me, God, I'm the same as everybody else. God, you see the blood upon our life, God. I pray, Lord, this evening, God, that you would touch the ones, God, that are here. God, and one is, God, that is under the sound of our voice. Or the ones, God, that may watch the video later, God, we pray that you would anoint them, God. I pray, God, that you would do something great, God. I pray, God, today, Lord, that there would be a breakthrough come through in somebody's life. I pray, God, for a breakthrough this morning. God, for health. God, for finances, Lord. I pray, God, for a breakthrough, God, in their lives today, Lord. Let your hand, God, be upon them. Let them be anointed in the name of Jesus. Lord, that everything, God, that the devil has planned upon them for evil, God, that you will turn it around and make it for good. Be with them, Lord, today. Anoint their hearts, anoint their homes, anoint their marriages. God, everything, God, that's going on today, God, place your hand upon them this morning. Hallelujah, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Hallelujah, Lord God. Lord, you're worthy, you're worthy. Hallelujah. Praise this morning.